Hi there, today I'm going to be doing an oil filter change and an engine oil change on my DRZ 125. So what you're going to need for this is a 17mm socket, a 10mm socket, a breaker bar or a ratchet that will fit the socket, and a smaller ratchet to fit the other socket, and an oil filter that fits your bike. So mine's a DRZ 125, so this should fit it, and some oil that will do for your bike, which should be recommended in the manual or something. So yeah, maybe some paper or something if you don't want to mess up your floor, and oil catch pan or something to catch the oil in. Alright, so now you put your oil catch pan under, so you want to have it directly under the sump plug, which I have here. And now I'll get the sump plug off. So I've already taken the the bash guard off. So now it's time to undo the sump plug, which is this one here, this bolt here. Okay.
Try to be careful not to drop the sump plug or the spring into the oil catch pan, because it can be a messy job trying to get it out.
You also might want to have a rag to clean your hands, because you're probably going to get oil on them, and maybe some raggy clothes like I'm wearing. So it's almost empty now, and as you may have noticed when I pulled the sump nut out, there was some extra things that came out, a spring and this thing, and at first I thought it was a magnet, but it doesn't feel like a magnet when I try put it on anything metal. So if you know, comment in the comment section and tell me, because I'd like to know. So we're going to put the sump plug back on now. So you want to get your spring here and this metal bit. You put the metal bit up the spring, put the spring into the crank. Just make sure when you put the sump plug in that you got your sump plug washer on it in between the spring and the sump plug, because you don't want to go without that. So I've moved the oil catcher across the newspaper there, so I can take the oil filter out now without spilling any oil, because this is still dripping. So now I should be able to take the oil filter out without making a mess, and yeah. Alright, so I got my 10mm thing, and I'm going to just start undoing these now, so yeah, and try not to drop them in the oil. Alright, so I'll take this off now. It's quite tight actually. Oh, here we go. Here we go. So that's the inside of this thing, and that should be the oil filter here. So I'll put this down and get the oil filter out. There's the oil filter. You can probably see the oil's pretty dirty looking. It looks pretty dirty. So yeah. So now we're gonna put the new oil filter in. There you go. So you want to make sure that you have this hole here going in first, because there's a little slot there and you just slot it in. So you just put it in here. Make sure it's in, and then you get your cap, fiddle on, have it how you want it, but I have it like this because the writing. Then wind in these. So the oil I'll be using today is Penrite 10W30 semi-synthetic 4-stroke motorbike oil, and I'll be pouring it in now. Right, last of the oil just went in, so I'm just going to screw the cap on now.